welcome back to another episode of The Black Hand Side. Running behind the boards and hosting as usual, I am your man, Professor T, dropping knowledge. To my left-hand side, we got...
Hey, it's your boy, Colton Crush. No matter how you feel, I ain't here to tell you what's right. I'm here to tell you what's real.
Right. I'm like the 70s, baby. That's how we do it. Go ahead. What's in the middle, man?
Yeah, man, it's Black Mean, a.k.a. Bunchy Carter, a.k.a. Bootney Farnsworth, the original skinny champ.
Muslims talk a good game, but they never do nothing.
That's right.
Unless somebody bothers Muslims.
That's right. Y'all don't bother.
Muslims.
Y'all don't bother no Muslims. Ain't gonna be no problems with me.
Oh, man.
You ready?
No.
Yeah. On the right and hot seat once again, my boy from the Pidnoid. Go ahead and introduce yourself, my brother.
So, no, man, it's Dame, man, up here, in the city. I'm a city kid.
Everything all the same when you're rolling with Dame. Yes, sir.
You know what? We ain't gonna get it. We'll wait till we off air to talk about that. You know what I mean? You city people, okay? I'm not gonna get into that right now, okay? We country folk over here, okay? They wanna look down on us all the time, all right?
Okay. Yeah, y'all might be just a little behind.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Hey, but let me tell y'all something.
They slow,
hey,
they
we
slow.
know,
That's what that is.
We know how to survive. So y'all don't know how to survive.
Hey,
y'all get outside and say, man, ain't no Bart, man, we're in the barn.
Did you just
I'm
quote
saying
Hank
we
Williams?
walk.
Did you quote?
Hey, we know how to walk.
Did you just quote Hank Williams on the Black Hand Side show with the Country Boy Can't Survive? Oh, who?
Hey man, I don't know no Hank Williams songs, brother. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm unfamiliar. I'm not hip. I'm sorry.
I guarantee someone in your family knows some Hank Williams. I'll tell you that.
Hey, well, shoot, because they was probably in the fields working for him. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to learn it. Hank sound all right today.
I love it. Well, let's jump right into it, gentlemen. It's been an interesting week. Okay, the GOP tried to pass a new health care and repealing Obama. They tried to pass a new health care plan over today, and it did not pass. So, they're trying to just do everything. To me, it seems like they're trying to do everything they can to push forward with promises just to do it instead of taking their time and doing things properly to where a place where it would affect the people and benefit the people. They take the Medicare law, and their new plan was going to state that you had to be currently working in order to receive Medicare or Medicaid, which means that if you were injured and could not work, or if you were unemployed and could not find a job, then you were not eligible for health care. So it kind of goes against the whole Obama health care plan. Any thoughts on that from the brothers?
I want to say, let me ask you this. As far as it didn't pass, the Democrats held it down?
No, it just didn't have enough oomph behind it. Some of the GOP folks didn't vote too. But, I think that's what happens when you try to just haphazardly put together something. Because I don't know if y'all are aware, but Donald Trump actually came out and said the day before the vote, because the deadline was coming before they had to file something, that he basically tried to light a fire. Either we get something together tonight or we keep Obamacare done. So just put
he wasn't
on him.
Well, really,
flex.
He tried to flex.
Really, he was showing that he wasn't even sure about the plan that they were coming up with, and I agree with Professor T that all they're really doing is they're smoke screening with all this, trying to keep up with the promises and stuff. They know that they can't keep up with all this stuff. Obama did the same thing. He sold that the hope thing, the hope.
Yeah.
And it lingered for about a year or two into his presidency with hope. And then when people were still broke, they was like,
Hey, but I'll say this though, I think somewhere it's about the money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They trying to get it.
Ooh.
And
Talking about
Trump
yeah.
trying to get it, you know what I mean? So I think him trying to push it, he's a doer for one thing. That's one thing you got to get this dude. He get in there and he making things happen, and he got everybody behind him. So it's not hard.
I mean,
he don't have much resistance.
It depends on your definition of making things happen. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not saying in a positive thing, but in the aspect of shit getting done. Like he making shit pass and go. Whether it's for the benefit of whomever.
Well, he has passed. He's only been in for. Wait, was it 27th? He's been in for just over 2 months as we speak, and he has passed, I think, almost like 80 or 90 things into existence. But just because you're passing stuff doesn't mean it's right. I think he's just trying to do a lot of stuff to get through. My personal theory is, Colt and Crush, you're right. It's all about the money, but I think it's all about the money in a different source. I think it's all about the money in very smokescreen, tricky ways, so they can make money. Meaning the top 1%, the billionaires, while keeping you distracted. You're fighting over crumbs and foolishness, and then they're setting rules so they can continue to make money.
Yeah.
And building a wall is a big distraction.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, very much so.
You know what I
It
mean?
is,
Very much
absolutely.
so.
But so you mentioned that for the wall, there was a girl that was accused two gentlemen. Well, I can't say the gentlemen if they're rapists. I don't know. I'm not saying she's right or wrong. I wasn't there. Maybe she got raped. Maybe she didn't. But she accused some people of rape in Maryland, and one of the people she accused of rape happened to be from Central America and was here without proper documentation. So now, of course, because one rape occurred, oh my gosh, we need to ban everybody that's from that country because there's one person that supposedly did some dirt. It's really generalized racism. It's foolish. What more can we say? As far as the money goes, though, something I did want to point out with the concrete facts.
Hey, I want to know what we're gonna do with the white boys that rape girls while they sleep.
Why they passed
Yeah,
out?
we're like, do we build a wall for them? I'm like, I don't know. Like
Stanford.
Yeah,
So-
they go to Stanford. They go to Stanford. They go to college. Huh?
So for you guys that don't know what we're speaking about here, okay, in Stanford University there was a girl that was passed out drunk by a garbage can for whatever reason, and there was a white boy that went and seen her passed out, and he had sex with her. He basically raped her, and she was completely out of it, not even conscious really. I mean, not unconscious, but in a drunken stupor, unable to make decisions and even kind of be coherent. And he had sex with her. He was tried. He was tried for rape, and I think he got 3 months for it. That's it. And they called it time served.
I think he did. He didn't even do
time
it.
served.
He got the ankle bracelet.
Now, can you
What's his
imagine?
name?
Can you imagine if
I'm gonna go back and find what his name was.
Can you
'cause I don't remember.
imagine if some brothers did that to a nice, good, clean white woman? What would happen? I'm just saying, it's a whole different dynamic. I wanted to talk money real quick because I did have a Trump time fact that I'd like to post up. All right. So, the budget, according to the new presidential structure and new presidential cabinet, we're overextended. All right. So we're saving money in whatever areas we can.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Donald Trump has cut $150 million art endowments to kids, basically, to education. He's cut $150 million in art funding for the people because the United States government does not have enough money to pay for those endowments. However, because Melania Trump refuses to live at the White House and instead is staying at the Trump Tower, and because Donald Trump insists on spending weekends at Mar-a-Lago in Florida, they have estimated the cost to retrofit his 2 residences, all his private property, to be up to presidential security standards is going to cost $185 million. So he's cutting education money because we don't have the money, but yet he's basically gaining $185 million profit because that's his private property. They're not going to take it out once they're done, once he's retired. So
hey, a pimp do. I mean, shoot,
man.
Hey, you know, a pimp do. I mean, listen. That to me, why he's doing that is to prove he's not a DC guy. I do what I want. I don't even have to live there.
But here's the deal: as conservatively moral and upstanding as people want to pretend to be when they're either conservative or I guess the conservative right Christian section. You have a first family, quote unquote, that refuses to live together in the same house. So how do you flip that one on them?
Hey, swingers.
I wonder.
You know what I'm saying?
My thing is,
that's all I know, Skibby. I don't know.
Who allows him to just do that? Is that just his call?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's any.
To be like, hey, I'm not staying here.
Well, he technically stays there, but he just goes to his place on the weekend. And that's where I'm chilling. But for his wife, I don't know. I don't know that you can force a wife to stay or not stay. Now the problem is to stay or not stay. Like if you can't force the wife to do that, and we'll never know this is the first time that's ever happened. But
Now,
the
which
reality
wife are
is,
we talking about?
we're talking about Melania.
Okay, not his daughter.
Well, it's a whole different story.
I'm
It's a whole different story, brother.
Okay, I'm trying because he might keep his daughter. The daughter might be at the White House. You know what I'm saying?
I dig.
He got.
I
You know what I'm
dig.
saying? I don't know what Trump got going. I'm trying to figure. Yeah. I don't know what he got going. You know. I mean, he said his daughter looks so good. He said, I wish I could get the cut up. What did he say?
Hey, something
He
like
said
that.
he said something. He said something similar. He said something about like, isn't my daughter hot? Like I would.
He said I would date her if
I would
it
date
wasn't
her.
my daughter. I would date her.
Yeah.
She's hot. I would date her. Now I don't know too
Wow.
many fathers that's looking at their daughter talking about, oh yeah. But
I don't know about that.
That's like just a weirdo, like way of thinking. You know what I mean? Like, but anyway, that whole thing about him having that budget or causing that was it
$185 million.
$185 million.
Man.
It's I don't know. I mean, it's like to me, as like I said, it's him doing that. I do what I want to do. I told you I'm not a DC guy.
Right. Well,
You know what I mean? And now that was his main thing on his campaign. I'm not a DC politician. I do what I want to do.
And you missing one thing.
What?
He's a businessman.
He's
So
a
he said, I'm going
businessman.
to make a profit off this move.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, of course, I mean, him running for the presidency. Everybody.
No, I'm saying setting up his wife in the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
well,
On
not
his
even setting
private
up.
property.
The thing is, she ain't never left the house. This is where
Yeah.
he stayed the whole time. On top of it, he accused the Obama administration of wiretapping his phones,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. They said, well, where's the proof? What source you give? I was on the news. All this fake news stuff. How are you going to get? You have the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, and whatever agencies exist that we do not know about, and you refuse to listen to them, and instead you choose to listen to Fox News as the ultimate authority of how things were going under the presidential secrecy of the executive branch
Hey.
under Obama. That was ridiculous.
What? How do you say his wife's name again?
Melania Trump.
Melania. Another reason she can't go to the White House
Why that?
because she a secret covert Russian agent. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, she might be on the real. On the
She got
real.
that bug inside of her. She walking around. She gonna be the starter like, oh,
Getting shocked.
like,
huh?
yeah. They like, hey, Melania, we going to the White House. She said, okay, well, I'm gonna stay in the car. Yeah, she stay in the car. No, I'm staying in the car. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, to me, look, everybody, I'm somewhat of a conspiracy theorist. Okay, maybe, but whatever. But I'm saying like this, right? He loves Russia, right? And he's been married to nothing but Russians.
I think she's like.
I'm just saying.
I think she's Ukrainian or something like that. She is.
Whatever.
I hear you.
Slavic.
She was,
From her, yeah.
when it was USSR, she was down with the
Yeah,
team.
she was down with the team. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that UK, that's a recent thing, okay? Not recent, but it's recent history. But yeah, that's I don't know. I've been feeling funny about that. I said, you know what? He just loves Putin, and Putin is slick. KGB. I'm telling you, I've been watching Putin ever since he said that cold stuff, and they asked him. They said, it was like back in 2012 when
Yeah.
Obama got reelected. They was like, how do you feel about Obama? And he's like, well, let's see. I am a martial artist, black belt, in different martial arts. I'm a trained assassin. I work for KGB. He said, you're president. He boogie boards. I said, damn. I said, damn. I said, bro, it was like a 2020 special, man. Me and my wife sitting up there watching, bro. He riding on horses, bro. Putin like to have his shirt off, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, he cutting watermelons. He doing his thing. Flexing. I
love
said,
it.
damn. I said, man, this dude a killer. I said, I like that. I said, man, I'd have voted for him on that
Yeah,
strip.
yeah.
They'd
On
be like, man, Black mean, what's his policy? I don't know, man. He's a killer, man. I like that, man. Hey.
I need that.
Yeah,
we need
but-
a killer.
I'm just saying, I think Trump like killers, you know what I mean? So I think that's why he like Putin, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Well, there's evidence that's come out. I mean, he did have a bankruptcy. He lost like $956 million in 1 year, I think, or maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But there's evidence that
Business-wise,
Right.
he lost that money,
yeah,
though.
business wise. But the money that is supporting his businesses all over Europe and other places in other international endeavors is all coming from Russian oligarchies. So basically, they're saying that he's tied in through Russian economic ties and basically has to answer to them. So that's why he has no choice but to kind of play kowtow to what they want.
Professor T, drop some knowledge on me, man. Who has the biggest mob in the world?
The Russian mob is
it's not the Italians. Even though I like the Italians,
good
I
couple of good clean
come on,
Italians
right,
over there.
Right, it's right here, right?
Hey, Paulie,
it's right here,
right?
I love, but I'm saying they don't have the biggest mob. The Russians have the biggest, most ruthless mob.
I can see that.
They don't play no games.
Also, there's a lot of evidence.
They will turn you to Alonzo.
Yeah.
There's evidence because all of Putin's money
to Alonzo. Yeah,
all of Putin's money is tied up in the state, so they can't really have adequate access to it. But there's a lot of evidence that show that Vladimir Putin is by far the richest man in the world with an estimated $200 billion in wealth. So go ahead and take that one to the bank.
Hey, and have you seen those palaces he has? He's built these luxurious palaces for himself around the world, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Don't look. People think Bill Gates ain't got nothing on Putin, bro.
Yeah.
Putin is, listen. This is how powerful Putin is. Do you know there's a what's that guy? Anthony Bourdain. What's the show called? He has CNN. Parts Unknown.
Yeah.
Parts Unknown, right?
Yeah.
And he was in Russia, and he went and there was a reporter who was a famous reporter in Russia, and he was on the show, and he was talking bad about Putin and how Putin is a dictator, Putin's a killer, and Putin's ruining the country, how Russia, whatever. Bro, a few months later, dude was on that big bridge where the Kremlin is.
Dead.
Pow! Assassinated, bro.
Dead.
Oh yeah.
And Anthony Bourdain said he's like, I mean, I feel kind of responsible. I did that, not responsible, but he was crazy. He did like a special about it after that. But if you go and look, Russia has a history and a long list, bro. Even in the last 10 years of reporters coming up missing. Ones who talk about Putin or anything against the state policies or anything like that, bro, they've been coming up missing. They've been getting shot.
They don't play over there.
What the dude that was the billionaire? He got poisoned, but he got away.
But here's the deal: it's a different environment because after the Russian Revolution and after World War II, when Russia became a communist country, all right, they had control over all that. Now, when the USSR fell and Boris Yeltsin came to power, all right, now the people did not understand. I mean, think about it. They've been communists for so many years. They did not have a capitalist government. They didn't understand how to make money. They had a whole different mindset. So the people that knew how to make money were the hustlers, were the black market. So the mob instantly became the power structure over there. And then the people who had international ties, i.e. the government and the KGB, et cetera, they became the people that absorbed the power. So you cut off the journalistic outlets, all right? Then the rest of the world doesn't really know. And the people that are trying to expose that, they end up missing. Now, does that sound familiar to anything that's happening maybe in the United States where certain outlets are being banned from White House press conferences and they're being attacked as fake news regardless of what the evidence says?
Yeltsin was the godfather and Putin was his, basically, Michael. You know what I mean? I mean, because he was right there. Like, Putin learned everything from Boris, too. And, like, what you were saying, though, there's a key factor before that. Gorbachev, before the mob basically took over Russia, it's because of Gorbachev, he basically gave everything away.
Mikhail Gorbachev.
He basically said, he thought that everybody would say, all right, we're going to be communists and join you. You know what I mean? He gave all the countries, you could be free. Here, you free. You're no longer up under Russia anymore, right? Yeah. But he thought that they were actually going to be like, you know what, man, we are communists and communism is good. And he thought it was he had this like blind vision of communism, right? And when he did that, and Russia completely fell apart. Man. I mean, in one sense, Yeltsin was a huge gangster, but in one sense, there was nothing but lawlessness really kind of going on. They were so broke.
Well, still, I mean, all that happened was the rich got really rich, and the poor people stayed drinking vodka. And it was Das Vidanya, Perestroika, Stolichnaya. Good gosh. Well, we could go on forever about Ronald McDonald Trump, so let's not do it because we don't want to give him too much shine. We just got to keep y'all abreast of what's happening in the world. So we're going to move on to our very first topic of the show. And that is, generally summed up, liberal racism. All right, we talked a few episodes back about liberals in certain areas trying so hard to, I don't know if it's necessarily white guilt or what it is, but trying to appease people, and they so incessantly believe that they are not racist that they become overtly racist and have no idea often of what they're talking about. We have millions of examples, but why don't we start off with Black Mean, because I know Black Mean got a couple of things to say for the team.
Now, this is something that bothers me, brothers. That is the memorial just opened up for Harriet Tubman.
Speak on it.
In Maryland. It's actually not a memorial. It's actually a park. It's a national park. So they actually have other things going on there. Kids can be actually troops or little, things at the park or whatever, But the thing where I say what bothers me about this is why this is so liberally racist is they always take a person like Harriet Tubman, who was considered a fugitive, considered a killer, and her bounty would have been equal to $3 million today. And now she's a great American hero.
She's a great American hero who is on the $20 bill. But see,
on the back,
they bamboozled people to thinking she was going to be the face of the $20 bill. Yeah. She's on the back with who on the other side?
Bound down to the great Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson, who owned what? What did he own? A bunch of slaves.
Whole bunch of black folk he was just killing. But I'm gonna tell you like this. Now the things that bother me about this now it seems good to have a Harriet Tubman National Park. Okay, that sounds good. But it's like there's things there where I know it's some liberal racists came up with. Why don't we have activities like games the little slave kids used to play?
No, they don't.
This is an exhibit. You can go look at the little games. And I want to explain to y'all one of the games.
Man.
One of the games was to hide a switch or a stick. Whoever found the stick got to go run and be the master and beat the rest of the kids. Like, wait a minute. That was a game that they played, apparently. Wow. So
that's a featured game.
It's a featured game.
Let's play Beat the Master.
And then they have these little playing cards and games, and it's just I'm like the brother Umar said, I don't think the slave kids was playing too many games, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because the type of games they were playing actually were the white kids, the slave owners' kids were doing stuff like tying the kids together and making them act like animals and doing stuff like that. That's what the type of the games, they were being humiliated.
Right.
Instead of games being played with them, you know what I'm saying? So, stuff like that is like,
where do you think they came up with these games?
Well, no. I just feel like the liberal racists loves to make, because they know black people love symbolism. You give black people a little bit of symbolism, we cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, man, they're like, damn, man, black people tripping, man, give them a statue or something. You know what I'm saying? The Tupac statue, right? Yeah, they cool, all right, cool. They ain't worried about it. They'll be good for another 30 years. You know what I mean? So it's like, with this national park, it becomes another symbolic thing that we sit there and we just so happy. Harriet Tubman underground, but really they consider her a criminal. Just like they consider Frederick Douglass a criminal, but now he's a great American hero. Yeah. But Martin Luther King was a great American now, but you shot him down like a dog.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I don't know, man. I see things like that and it just bothers me. You know what I mean? I feel like, that's why I almost like the in your face races. That's why I like this Trump stuff. Yeah. I like it because I like that you being real. That's how you feel. You know what I mean? I like somebody to be, you know what I mean? I don't like somebody to sit up there, hey, President, hey, come here, you little nigga, baby. You know what I mean? It's like, Bill Clinton played the sax and black people were just saying, he good. I'm with him. You know what I mean? We want to call him the first black president. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Symbolism and little things like we just swallow it. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean?
I agree with what you're saying. I agree because the thing is, at least with the outright racism, the straight racism, you know exactly where you stand.
Yeah.
You can respect that.
I mean, that's how you feel. You might be an idiot for feeling like that, but that's how you feel. I understand. I dig that. Out here, especially where we are, and in a lot of places, you know, that, hey, how's it going, guys? All right. Oh, man, I can't stand them. You know, and that's a whole different dynamic because it's basically you're thinking everything is sweet, but the reality is you got major problems. So,
Look, I'm not gonna cut you off. California, exactly what you're saying, right?
yes, sir.
Okay, we move in our neighborhood in Merced, right? We move into a different neighborhood, right? Not, good, nice, good, clean white folks. You know what I'm saying? Just a few black people sprinkled in there. Cool, right? Series of robberies starts happening, right? Now, all these people on the block, these same people have seen us all the time, say, hey, how's it going there? Hey, how's it going there? They say, did you guys check the 2 boys over there? At the 2 black boys over there? Right? So the police are checking us to see if we're robbing houses, right? It ends up being, hey, it was in that house, hey, where we kicked it across the street at. The Roy house.
Oh, okay.
They was over there. Yeah,
it was that right there.
Yes.
Okay.
It was the Roy house. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
We ain't gonna get into that. We ain't gonna start backsliding.
Yeah. Don't
Okay.
do
Look, but there's a house across the street where this lady owns a house. She houses a lot of dope fiends. Happened to be a girl I was going to school with, and her white dope fiend boyfriend. They was breaking into everything, getting everything, and going right back across the street. Right, but they, the people who spoke to us every day, and how you doing, and how's it
might
going,
be them, our new dark neighbors over there.
Yeah. All of a sudden, it was have you check them?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, they just reacting off of what they see on TV, though.
And our other neighbor, felt so bad. She felt so bad. She's the one that told my mom, I just want to tell you, we actually, a couple of neighborhood watch thought it was your boys. We feel so terrible.
Guilt.
See, but that's that white guilt. That's that liberal.
Guilt sunk in.
We didn't want to believe it, but we had to check anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
That's lack of common sense. Like even the, not even just like they see you every day. So why would, you live here. Yeah. It's your neighborhood too. Yeah. Especially greeting you every day.
Yeah.
But these are the same people that say, and I'm, right. I'm talking to everybody, but I'm talking specifically liberal racism at this current moment because same people out here, San Francisco, out in Berkeley, that are considered the most liberal people in the entire United States. And then when you walk in an elevator with them, that person gets clutched a little tighter, or they curl up in that corner, or, y'all.
Was that from a movie?
No, that wasn't from a movie.
Are you sure about that?
That's from the movie of Professor T's life. Episode every day.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was in that movie too.
You seen that movie too, huh? I feel you. So saying that to say, I mean, y'all brothers know when I was living in Berkeley, the same liberal people who would see me on a daily basis, when I would come home and be ready to go in the house, they would, almost hold the door closed and, oh, sorry, we didn't recognize you. Oh, we thought you might have been a robber or something like that. This is people that I lived with for almost 4 years, that want to justify that, we're just being safe. We never can be safe enough. So what it boils down to is you got people that would swear that, incessantly, we're not racist. We're for the equality of everybody, and there's not a racist bone in our bodies. But yet their actions don't match what
right
their
then and
mind is
there.
saying.
I don't trust somebody who says they're for the equality of everybody. I don't trust somebody. You know why? Because you don't have no real stance. That's somebody who don't have a stance. Like when somebody says, "Well, I'm for homosexuality. I'm for this. I'm for that. I'm for that." Well, I'm like, where's your stance? Well, I don't know where you stand at. You over here, you over there, you with them, you with them. It's like somebody who blood and a crib.
double bang.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a blood, I'm a crib.
I bang.
Yeah, I bang. I just bang, period. But nah, I just don't like. I can't stand people who don't have no stance. You know what I mean? They'll say, "Oh, I'm for equality," and
But people can have different stances on different things.
Yeah,
that's true.
You talking about it, but
I hear what you're saying.
I mean, yeah, I dig. You made me think though, because you're talking about the outright racism earlier, and me and Brother Colton Crush were looking at some stuff before we decided to start this show here, and we're gonna deviate from the script just a touch because I want to play this for the people I think it's important enough to play. All right, this is the great Duke John Wayne. Listen to what John Wayne says about black people's experience in America, and this is right around '74, right after the Civil Rights Movement. Here, just take a listen.
What about the civil rights?
Well, we have 20 million blacks on this continent.
Right.
It was necessary to extend rights to them that perhaps for the first 199 years were denied them in this free America.
I guess that they've had a pretty tough break, but not quite as bad as you and your do-gooder friends would have them believe. They live as well here as they live in any other country over that 199 years. True, I think they do have a right to more rights, but it isn't a thing where the rest of the country should feel terribly guilty about anything because they have had a better life here and their fathers and mothers than they would have had any place else.
All right, so first and foremost, this idiot tried to say that slavery only lasted for 199 years before this 1974 interview, which means that basically slavery would have started in 1773. Never mind that the first slave ship sailed commercially in 1555. All right, that's a whole different dynamic. We'll talk about that in our second segment, most likely. But just to say that he had the nerve to say, in the entire time that blacks have existed in America, including slavery, that they have had a better life in America than they would have had back either in Africa or wherever the homeland was.
The man's delusional.
Yeah, I have to agree with that too.
He just
Don't y'all talk about the Duke like that.
hey, but to keep it real, you know, he
speak for a lot of people though.
He speak for a lot of people, and in his certain circles, you know, you got to think about people who have these certain privileges and how they think. Like if we reflect back to the Clippers' former owner, you know, when they caught him, the girl caught him on tape and whatnot.
Yeah,
and he was just speaking honestly. That's how they speak.
Hey, this is my
in his
thing.
circles.
How old was he? Do we know in this clip? 1974.
I'll look it up for you, brother.
Yeah.
What you think his age?
Because this is my this is what I'm saying. Okay, this is 1974.
Right.
He's an older white man, obviously.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Not just any white man, but John Wayne.
He's John Wayne, but he's an older white man.
America's hero.
Okay, like to me, when I see that, I mean, of course, I think he's an idiot, but you know, I don't agree. But I say, well, shit, that's an old white man. That's how he supposed to think. That's like if you go do an interview and you ask my dad, who is a 67-year-old black man, he say, man, they ask you something, man. Do you think white folks are shit, man? I don't trust none of them white folks, man. My dad will sound real racist, man. But I know that my dad is a black man who came from the South, who lived through that, you know, that Jim Crow, that you know, and the Civil Rights Movement. So his thing is reactionary. He said, I've seen a whole bunch of stuff that white folks do to black people, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
About his experience.
Yeah, his experience. So that white man's experience is to be dominant.
Yeah. That
white man's to see his experience is for black people to be subservient and up under him.
The Duke.
And so his experience is, I mean, sure. You know what I mean? You don't know why you complaining.
You see the
I
way
gave you clothes.
He adjusted himself.
Yeah, I gave you something to eat.
Yeah,
nigga.
But then he started thinking about his name too. Yeah, you know, he started to backpedal.
Yeah, so that right there, I'm saying you got to understand, like that looking at that white man right there, that does not bother me. The liberal racist bothers me way more than him. Yeah. I appreciate that. Okay, that's how he feel.
Yeah, but the sentiment is still fucked up, though.
The sentiment is fucked up, but I'm saying is this though. At least he's letting you know what the sentiment is.
The sentiment.
He doesn't leave you. He doesn't leave you. Okay, look. He doesn't leave you not knowing what the sentiment is when you're like this. When they're like, hey, you're like, hey, what's going on, Professor T? Hey, what's going on, man? Then next time we see you, you're like, hey, what's going on, buddy? Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
But did you need something?
Yeah. Can we help you?
I didn't know if I could help you or not. Like they never seen you ever in life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You just had a 3-hour conversation. Like last week.
Okay. This is my favorite thing about. This is my favorite liberal racist. I know everybody's had this happen. when you go to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trayvon just got killed.
Right.
Something like that type of incident.
Yeah.
And there's just a look in their eye when they see you, right? Everybody else is trying to like avoid you, right? Especially when you gotta, they're like, hey, man, you know, they kind of, ooh. But there's always that liberal racist that's looking like, you know, they say some dumb stuff like, I'm just so sorry about what I'm like, yeah, shut your, look, okay. First of all, I look at him like, first of all, I didn't know Trayvon, okay? And you should be just so sorry that the police killed innocent, or innocent, not a police, a security guard killed an innocent child.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
first and foremost.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You're not going up to everybody else and saying, man, I'm just feel bad about Trayvon. You wait till you see me come in.
Yeah. There go Trayvon.
Yeah.
He'll feel my pain.
Yeah. I'm just so sorry. Right? I'm like, what you say? You was like, damn, you shot him? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, that's where I feel like, you know, right there, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like the racist white man, you know, he's kind of like, he's walking around like and nothing happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? They be like, man, you hear about Trayvon? What happened? Wasn't on Fox News. Didn't see that story.
Yeah, it wasn't on Fox News.
Yeah. But you feel me though? Like the liberal racists, they just, I'm sorry, man. That was my topic because they make me cringe, man. I like the Mississippi honky tonk. The guy pulls up his trousers, say, "Boy."
You know why I think you like it? And just maybe it's part of black culture, or it's just part of just humanity. You like the fact that it is 100% real, and, and they're unapologetic. That's the reality of it. It's not. Let me see how I can finagle this to. You know what? Because the problem with the liberal racism is we're so far in the PC era. We're so far into trying to appease everyone that the terminology for everyone has to be changed to this and that, to so-and-so American, to blah, 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 to transgender, to LGBTQI, to whoever, because we're trying to appease everybody.
Gang.
Right? That they don't even know what to say anymore.
They be doing, they bang.
So all I'm saying is that they're so wrapped up and not tripping over themselves that they sound foolish. Whereas, you know, the Mississippi Cracker's a Mississippi Cracker, but he's going to tell you straight up, I don't like you, coon. So,
hey, you know, look, all that you can just hear the tone of their voice when you go up to them and say, excuse me, and then go, yeah. What is it? What can I do for you? Right, that tone, you know, is like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I got your number.
Yeah, man, I'm going to just... whites only pies, all right. You set up the street up 30 miles up, okay. You know what I mean? So, but I can dig that, bro. I can, you know what I mean? I dig that. I'd rather somebody, but while we speaking of the liberal races though, it's also the PC black person too that, you know, when you said PC, it reminded me of the, who they give way to the liberal races. They give way to, like, they make, you know what I mean? You know, let me example. I don't even want to. That Edward Flynn.
Yeah.
Him.
Yeah.
He's the perfect liberal racist symbol because they could say, wait a minute, he's a police chief. He's a black police chief. He's made it to prominent stature. You know, everybody, you know, has a chance, you know what I mean? And they with that has a chance.
Well, it's a black president now, buddy. Why don't you step your game up, okay? There's no excuse for failure anymore, pal.
Yeah,
you know, but
we're all the same.
Yeah, we can go on and on.
Yeah,
it's craziness about that. So how I feel about it, liberal racism, that's out.
That's out.
Speaking of that's out, it's time for this week's episode of That's Out. So, Brother Mean, who we got going down for this week's episode?
No, that's out, man.
Man. It's gonna be some people upset in the room.
Who?
That's out.
Don't be mad.
Our camera person.
Is that right?
Yeah, she might be upset about some of the stuff that's been said already.
Well, speak on it.
But she's not too sensitive. But she might. This one might get her. Tights that these women are wearing.
Are you talking about the
leggings, yoga pants? What? That's out, man.
What? Wait.
Hold up.
The Lululemons?
No,
Yes.
that's out, man.
Yeah, the leggings are out, man. Okay, I'm starting to see new ones. They got the ones
Yeah.
with holes and vents in them and stuff,
Yeah.
all kind of stuff.
AC.
They are out. Okay, I'm tired of seeing the fat girl with regular people legs. Right, the tights are holding up her belly, right? So it's looking good, man. Right? I'm like, okay, all right, tights. She gets about 10 feet from me, and I see that belly, right? I said, oh Lord,
No, that's out, man.
oh
Why-
God,
why
I
you
said
talking
the
about my
leggings,
loves, man?
man.
Come
man,
on,
the
man.
leggings, and, oh man. And then the girls be having the leggings on, right? And
Yeah.
they be looking cool from the front, right? And then they got that droopy booty, right? Right, the droopy, and then the droopy booty, right? And then the girls who wear the leggings, right? Who leave their booty at the crib, right? Ain't no booty in the back of the leggings, okay? The leggings, okay, are out. Just like biker shorts in the early 90s, okay? We got those out, okay? Let's get the leggings out. The leggings are out, okay?
Oh
No
man.
Right.
love for the leggings.
No love for leggings. They're out, okay?
No, that's out, man.
You know what? I'll say this about the leggings. One thing that I don't like, man, is the leggings are supposed to be, if you got sexy legs, you got a sexy booty, and you wearing leg. Okay, I mean, that's one thing. But the other thing is that you have these leggings now that are being cut, so they are form-fitting. So it doesn't matter what you actually look like, but all that stuff you stuffing in them is going to make you look like you're nice and perfect. Oh, she's thick.
That's
oh,
what I
man.
just
Hey,
said.
but
Fat girl,
That's what
regular
I'm saying.
legs.
But women
But
be
then-
like,
doing
man,
this,
man,
though.
As soon as they come down, woo,
They
hey.
do that with the jeans. They
That's
do
what I'm
that
saying.
with,
Jeans, same thing.
with everything. So why would y'all expect that not to evolve into leggings?
But that
And
don't
I'm
make
tell you
it
what it
all right.
changed.
You spit in my
J-Lo.
post, you be spitting my
Okay, but what about
J-Lo
the jeans,
changed the
though?
game, bro.
What about the jeans?
She
The
cheated.
jeans is out
The jeans
too.
with all these
But I ain't
cuts.
hosting that's out. The jeans is out too to me, but you know what I'm saying? But I ain't
The
hosting.
jeans
it.
out.
Hey.
You won't wear them nothing, huh?
Hey, throw them out, man. I'm with that. I'm
Wait,
with
nah.
all
The
that.
jeans
That's
that
out.
the jeans that deceive the brothers too, because you ain't got no booty, but they make you got booty.
No, that's out, man.
That's right.
Them out too.
Out. Now this subject on this out, man.
Pay good money for them jeans.
Oh man. Wait. Hold on. Black man.
I didn't want to do this, but I gotta be fair on that side because I throw a lot of things out. I put a lot of things out, but sometimes people get put out, and I gotta talk about it.
All right. Uh-oh.
Kaepernick is out, y'all.
What?
Hold on,
No,
man.
that's out, man.
Hold on, man.
Are we?
He ain't even got no
man.
job. Hold on, man.
Kaepernick is out, y'all. Yeah,
It's coming from a Niner fan.
No, that's out,
that's
man.
why I'm hurt. It's coming from my team, okay?
Hey,
He opted out, okay? He opted out of his contract, okay, y'all? He opted out.
Oh, so he really out there.
He opted
No,
out.
that's out, man.
And,
He opted out,
left the
man.
team he out. Just because he left the
It
team
ain't.
he out.
It ain't because it ain't he out because he left the team. I don't
Okay.
want him out.
Okay.
But it doesn't look like nobody is picking up his contract right now, man. You know,
The man won't
and
too much.
I just want to give
He
y'all
didn't play
just a
very
little
well.
historical evidence that history is not on his side in this type of
No.
thing. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all 1992. Okay, it was a brother. You know what I mean? He was a 3-point shooting champion. His name was Craig Hodges. Okay, Craig Hodges went to the White House after the 1991 Bulls championship
Yes.
against the Pistons.
Yes,
Oh no,
sir.
it wasn't against the Pistons. Excuse me. It was was it against the Lakers that year? Who was that? Bulls in the 1991.
It couldn't have been against the Pistons.
No,
Yeah,
I think they first won against the Lakers.
That was
I think that-
1991. 91. I believe it was the Lakers
Yeah.
because they made a game. Didn't they have a game?
Yeah.
Bulls versus Lakers.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
they
right.
sure did. Y'all know about that. I'm from the old school.
Yeah.
man.
Sega Genesis.
But yeah, oh, you from those? You from those? Hey, but look, yeah. So man, Craig Hodges, right, 1992, when they went to
Hold on
visit the
one
White
second.
House.
I'm sorry, brother. I wanted to point out there was collectively about 100,000 people that went, "What's a Sega?" Right?
Yeah,
When he said-
yeah. What's on Sega? Yeah, but you know, Craig Hodges went to. First of all, the brother went dipped all the way dressed in a nice dashiki, looking just looking stupendous. You know, looking great.
with the great
Right?
George
And,
H.W. Bush
right.
in office.
And he went there and he took a letter to the great Daddy Bush.
George H.W.
One of the
Herbert
great-
Walker Bush,
One of the greatest Americans, war hero.
oh, yeah.
head of the
Head of the
CIA.
CIA.
I mean, his accolades, we could go on, okay?
Oh, yeah.
The
The finest.
finest. Thank you, brother. You could have you could have said it no better.
His finest hour.
He took the letter to George Bush, telling him he wanted him to do, asking him to do more about the injustices that were happening in the black community. Okay, now this is a 3-time shooting champion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 3-point shooting champion.
Absolutely.
He's a top 5 3-point shooter in the league, percentage wise, everything. Right? The very next year, the Bulls don't pick up his contract. Nobody picks up his contract. You know, he's all of a sudden out of the NBA. Right? Okay. Next brother, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, formerly known as Chris Jackson. And we all know, I'm not going to go into the story about that, so I'm like, come on. We all know what happened to him. Mm-hmm. And for the people who don't know out there, he didn't stand for the national anthem. And, after that, he was blacklisted from the NBA. Right. Only after 9 seasons. Also a top shooter in the league, top scorer, period. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And was blackballed from the league. So I'm just saying, my man Colin Kaepernick's chances don't look too good, man.
But he got Shannon Sharp fighting for him, though. Shannon Sharp fighting for him.
Yeah, man.
But I think
Shannon Sharp's not enough.
I think we gotta allow some time.
Was he out too, or was Shannon Sharp? I thought he was out a minute ago.
Nah. I didn't put Shannon Sharp out. He ain't
Sorry, Shannon. He's still in there.
I mean,
Sterling was better,
still
but
kind of early though.
Yeah,
let's see somebody in the Browns.
Yeah, the Browns
might need it. Hey, man, get him over.
Yeah, the Browns they might, but I'm just saying though, like right now, Colin is out.
He out because what exactly though? For what?
He's out because what I mean. They that's how they do the brothers. So I just had to put that in there. I'm not, No,
that's out, man.
You say I throw a brother out, what I mean, or something's out that's bad I don't like, but this one is
this hurt.
Okay, so we just clarifying. Colin is out, but we're not putting him out.
We're not putting him out.
He's just
out. We're not putting him out. He's just out. For the time being. He's out. See, now this one is
get him back in.
How you gonna get?
He's out legit because he opted out. And he probably ain't going. So he ain't out as in we saying he's whack. We saying that he's out in the fact that he might be ass out. So.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you like this. I'll tell you who was out. I'm telling you who was out. Okay.
Oh, we putting him out. Who we putting out this week?
Now, let me say this first. I put him out with a stipulation in the contract that he might come back. But he has burned the bridges.
Oh, no.
And the contract is up. So I just need to, before I put the next person out the black race, Steve Harvey is all the way out, y'all.
Steve Harvey all the way.
There's no stipulation. I thought the brother from the Ville, we was going to let him back, you know what I mean? Because he's from the hood. We was going to let him back. But he up there defending Donald Trump on Snoop Dogg and Bow Wow.
Get his money. He got to hold up to that
contract.
He
up there talking about
that
if they would have been Obama, same thing. People would have went to jail, and you can't be acting like you assassinating no president. So Steve Harvey is officially all the way out.
So he's all
contract is severed. And there's no chance of him getting back in.
Yeah, because he was out last time.
But I had put
steps.
Yeah, some steps in it, man.
You put a clause in it.
Clause that
yellow card.
He might be able to come back. But he can't come back.
Hey, Steve Harvey was out when he kept wearing that flat top hairpiece on his TV show.
Yeah, he is. But this guy that we're removing from the black race, I'm pretty happy to remove him from the black race.
Yeah.
And some people are going to disagree with me, but he's got to go. And that is, a matter of fact, I need to mention this because I got to give my brother Culture Crush props on this, right? Because I had planned on putting somebody else out. I'm going to say them for next week. But my brother sent me a text this morning.
Yeah.
With a picture of one of y'all favorite ESPN hosts.
Oh!
One of y'all favorite ESPN
Wow.
hosts.
Oh, no.
Man, we pushing him back with his hairline, okay?
Ooh.
He's out of there. Stephen A. Smith is out, y'all. Okay?
He is out.
He up there posing on pictures.
Yeah. Did you get the picture?
Cooning.
Oh.
With Edward A. Flynn.
Who's also out, right?
Yeah, no, listen, he's never been in, I'm convinced. Okay, he's never been in the black race. He's been
real light skin.
He is a covert agent.
Oh no.
That I think that he's really a white man that something happened. He got
You're taking the melanin
he
shots.
He got the Michael Jackson disease in reverse. It went wrong on him like Uncle Ruckus. You know what I'm saying? It kept getting darker. Right? So he was never in.
He was never. He wasn't in.
But Stephen A. Smith is up there taking selfies with this guy talking about. So Stephen A. Smith, he's on the ledge with me, because sometimes he'll say some good stuff, and with the brothers and stuff. I was like, okay, Stephen A., you know what I mean? All right. But then I'd be like, then I watch him on First Take, right? I go, he says some of the most coolest, and he be talking so bad about the brothers, like, you know what I mean? It's like, and he says, I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth. Listen, I don't see any white commentator on ESPN tell the truth so bad about another white players or not white or white. I never see them do that.
Yeah,
I never see them do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like only time you see a white man get upset is about I can't lie, it's about baseball. They're cheating.
Oh yeah,
they get upset. They mad at Pete Rose, right? He cheated.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason when baseball you can that pissed the white man off.
Yeah. That's when you get Spike Lee.
Baseball, you cross the line.
Get Spike Lee on that one.
Yeah, you cross the line. You cross the line. But as far as Stephen A. Smith, okay,
he's
out, man. We pushing him back with his hairline. He's out of there.
Yeah, he's out of there. He's out of there like. Okay. He's out of there like last year.
Okay.
No warning.
I like listening to Max better than I like listening to him.
Ooh.
Can't even stand. I want to. I mean, be quiet, man, with all that yelling, man.
Stephen A. Smith. Huh?
Stephen A. Smith is out. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact,
the black race can't afford you no more.
Can't afford you no more, boy. and that's
boy, Black Mean.
That's our this week's edition for That South.
No, that's out, man.
All right, well, Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, you got to smoke it in here, Black Man.
I guess when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Our camera woman about to quit. The type thing I don't appreciate it. Black Man.
The man is a trip, though. I can say that. I can say that he's definitely a trip. Well, we're gonna move right into our next segment here because we're running a little short on time. But as we do, we need a little balance in life, all right? We need some balance, all right? So we're going to come right on in with some balance from our brother sitting all the way to my left. And it is that time.
Now it's time for a moment with Colton Crush.
Whoa.
You like that, man? Y'all feeling that groove?
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Calm down, relax.
Hey,
you like me want to.
My wife already pregnant.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Try to tell her to have this one. We gotta have another.
Yeah. Tell her get ready.
Make it even.
Talk about she quit. Ain't no.
You can't quit, man.
But you try to teach our children.
All right, y'all. Let me get a little prop out.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got a little prop for the brother.
And I want you to know.
I'm going to pass this to Black Mean first.
Oh, man. I got to look at the man in the
mirror.
I got to look at the man in the mirror.
You good. So, ladies and gentlemen out there, I got out a prop. It's a mirror. And for this week's moment with Colton Crush, the question to the brothers in the room is, do you or have you ever stood in front of a mirror during a moment when you had to think about something serious? Like I'm talking about decision making, something that was like, man, I need some time to put some thought and some focus into this one. But stood in front of that, and how did it make you feel? You know, did it affect your decision making, or was the outcome beneficial in that sense?
I don't know. We haven't heard too much from Brother Dave.
Go ahead, brother.
Think about the last time you had to think about a serious issue.
Oh yeah,
and just flash back real quick and look at yourself in the mirror when you thought about that and the outcome of that, and how did that make you feel?
Oh, basically, man. I mean, of course, well, you got something to deal with, something serious. You basically got. I feel like, all right, well, it's not gonna help just thinking about it. I gotta go ahead and just put it in motion.
Yeah.
So looking at myself in the mirror. Basically, it's like this, man. Let's just go ahead and make it do what it do, bro.
Okay.
Stop playing with yourself.
Yeah. So
do
you think that made you? I'm trying to get at it in the sense that looking at yourself in the mirror during a moment where you had to make a tough decision, do you think that would be beneficial to you as far as seeing the reflection of yourself as you're pondering upon it, how your body language is as well?
Yeah.
So have you done that before?
Yes, I have.
And was it beneficial to you instead of just you going about the day? Or
I think 9 times out of 10,
Okay.
I would say so.
So that's something that you would practice on a regular.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think because at the end of the day, I think if there's something that's critical and it's something that's kind of like bothering your spirit.
Yeah.
And I think when you take that moment, to really have to like process it.
Yeah.
And you really have to know, like, this is something that you just cannot put on the back burner. You have to just go ahead and make it happen. So I don't know. For me, I think just growing up, I thought that was always that was basically how I was taught.
Okay.
It's like you just, you're gonna have to just go through it. You might not like it in the process, but you gonna feel good in the end.
Yeah.
So I think you can use many examples of that.
Okay.
You don't like vegetables, but you're gonna have to eat them.
Yeah.
You don't like carrots, but they're good for your eyes.
Yeah, that's right.
So you need to go ahead and make sure you go ahead and take a douse of it.
Say, brother, you look in the mirror when you talking that? Just making sure.
Go through it.
Make a change. You feel me?
Change.
How you feel, Black Mean?
I mean, it depends. Like, I don't really look in the mirror, man. I do this, you know what I'm saying?
So you know what he's like? He stay in the mirror.
You understand me? But nah, it's worked for me and against me.
Okay.
I will say this. Don't look in the mirror if you're high off drugs. I did that one time on a bad marijuana trip when I was 18. Man.
Oh, man.
And it worked against me.
Yeah.
So I'm saying sometimes looking in the mirror, just don't do it.
Uh-huh.
But I remember a specific time I looked in the mirror and I looked at myself and I said, look, either it was like I looked in the mirror and it was like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Like I got to make a change. Like I can't be here anymore.
Yeah.
Like that look in the mirror.
That's good.
Like I came across and it was like it wasn't like an intentional. I got to look myself in the mirror. I was like using the bathroom, kind of you stopping there or something. You gotta look at yourself for a second and be like, man, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Woo. And I made a move to San Diego for a couple of years just to get out of my environment, and that was one of the most beneficial things for me at the time. It ended up being, I became Muslim down there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did, you know what I mean? I got to breathe and be, you know what I mean? But I do remember that moment. I remember that like very vividly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you know, feel me? Like it was like I got to get out of here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
And Professor T?
Okay, ask me the question again, brother. Ask me the question.
So, do you or have you ever looked yourself in the mirror during a time of deep thought about a serious issue that you was going through, and how did that affect you during that process and after the process, as far as what decision you made?
I can't say that I have. I mean, I had some stuff go down. I'm a real analytical dude, so it's like I tend to live in my mind a little bit more than through visual.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't think of any where I literally looked in the mirror. I mean, just reflecting myself, there has been times where, I may have been bullshitting a little bit or not doing what I was supposed to be doing. And then, you kind of just have the epiphany of like, man, like, okay, time is kind of flying by. I need to catch up and really start handling business. You heard I said business.
Business.
Shit.
Okay. Business.
Business.
Jack. Handle your business.
But just to say that, I think time comes when I need to personally, I guess we all do, really, but you need to reflect and be real with yourself and not make excuses to why you're not advancing or why you're slacking. But I honestly can't say that there's been one motion where I really thought that it kind of affected me and I made a change like that. Maybe I need to do it now. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know, brother. But,
dig this, but what you just said, though, about reflecting, I think the mirror can kind of be like a symbolic thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as you physically have to look yourself in the mirror, but the whole thing of sitting and reflecting. See, I do that. Like I have a moment of reflection I probably a few times a day. You know what I mean? I go.
I dig.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I go. You know what I mean? I go. You know, like when I go. You know what? Whether me and Professor T done got in an argument about something, I reflect on. I say, well, maybe I was wrong, or you know what I mean? I say whatever, you know, or whatever is going on. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes I have to reflect on, like, being a father causes you to reflect a lot. Like, I know I do. Like, I have to be like with my kids, like, you know, am I, you know, being the type of father that they, a good example, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, so I try to, you know, it makes me reflect because I think about that all the time. Am I being a good example? So when I leave the house, okay, I'm not going to leave looking like I already have this hair.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to leave looking like a complete hoodlum. You know what I mean? So, because I know I'm representing my children. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
You know, I think I have more, like he said, more not physical reflection.
Yeah.
But
mental.
Yeah,
you take some time to yourself.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's real good.
Well, me personally, I've done this, and I do it kind of on a regular. I take some time to myself just to go in there and look at myself, because I think when I sit and I ponder on the issue that I'm struggling with, or it may be just a decision, no matter how small or big it is, if I feel I need to take that time just to look at myself, I think it I actually monitor my body language. I actually also
he said this college status, man. When I was
safety
status.
Yeah, I'm young, I'm pretty, I hit hard, I'm in the best shape of my life.
Best shape of my life.
I'm Roy Jones of this. They don't want to see me.
Got a car.
Y'all must have forgot.
Got a car.
Apartment. I'm set.
But in all seriousness, I find it beneficial for myself. And for this week's 2-week challenge, it's a 2-week challenge of a 5-minute mirror challenge that I want y'all to do with me. Okay. So basically, once a day, take 5 minutes to be in front of a mirror, to just think about something on a personal level that you got in your life, on a deep level. For example, it can be anything from your love life to friendship, or your work, your money, your physical health, your physical health. And whether that can also be, if you want to take it to your personal beliefs, just your spirituality, your religion.
Yeah.
But, just look at it yourself during this process. Look at yourself during this process and observe how your body language is.
Hey, you know what's perfect?
What's
in
that?
my bathroom, I got these mirrors, whatever. Yeah. So when I'm in there boo-booing, I could be in there. I could look at the mirror at the same
get
time.
Your
you know what I'm saying?
Get your Devin
boo-booing and reflecting. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about some time.
Take some time.
The bathroom boo.
You know what I'm saying? But all seriousness, take some time with yourself.
Serious. I'm gonna look in the mirror. I'm serious. Hey.
Black Mean always take it to a whole nother level, man.
Nah, I'm serious.
Yeah, I can count on you to do that.
Nah, I'm serious. You know how my bathroom is. It's easy. The bathroom it's right there on the toilet.
But take that time once a day, 5 minutes. Preferably if you take it before, at the beginning of the day, get yourself ready mentally to go out there and face whatever you got to face, especially as black brothers.
I meant to say I like your challenges. I like how you come up with it. But let me ask you this. You don't think 5 minutes is kind of long though?
Nah, brother. 5
minutes. You just up there is kind of like.
You can't look at yourself for 5 minutes. I know you ain't got that.
Can we do
problem.
2 minutes while we brushing the teeth?
Well, you supposed to be thinking about.
5 minutes is kind of long. Cause Hold on.
Posing in the
posing.
Hey man, 5 minutes.
Get your mind
Hey, you can cut it down to 2 if you want. If you can't do 5,
just give me some devoted time.
I got a feeling 5 minutes gonna grow on you. Brother. Yeah, Black Man, you're gonna be in there all day.
I can't be in the mirror. I can't be in the mirror too long because my wife is, what's wrong with you?
Looking at yourself.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? You ashy.
But fellas, that's the 2-week challenge, a 5 minute or a 2 minute mirror challenge.
Man in the mirror
Take some time just to look at yourself and think on a deep level about any issue that you're having. Maybe you need to cut somebody out your life. Toxic
There's
people.
a bunch of people who need to be cut out your life, maybe.
You know, or add some people to your life.
Or add some people, I hear you. I dig. Get out there and smile at somebody.
Yeah,
say
man,
hello.
I got
hello.
sister-in-law, you know what I mean? That's, available, out there.
Oh, man. See, you
People
can throw that out there
it.
for the national, huh?
Nah,
knowing I got a weekness.
Hey,
Hey.
I wasn't even talking about. Hey, I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? We just went to her house. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's his boy over here to the right.
Nah, hey, see, look.
Hey, this is
we ain't even
personal
gonna get
business,
started. We
man.
ain't gonna get
Personal
started. We
business,
ain't gonna
man.
get started,
man.
Personal
We ain't gonna get
business.
started, man.
That's the other brother over there. That's personal business.
We ain't gonna get
All
started.
right,
I'm sorry.
we got a 5-minute, 2-minute if you can't stand 5-minute mirror challenge. Look at yourself, be positive and motivating, because we do need to all reflect and make sure we're on the right path. We don't want to be stagnant. That's the main point of it.
Absolutely.
I agree with the brother. We can't be stagnant.
Got to keep on moving.
I keep on moving. Don't stop. No. Oh, that's my jam, man. Yeah. Anyway. Well, we appreciate all y'all tuning in tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you with us on the Black Hand Side Show. You can reach us on social media at
The Black Hand Side Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Check us out.
You can see That's Out, the local That's Out segments on there. You can see Professor T dropping knowledge and history and, a whole bunch more. We'd just like to thank you for joining us. Anything you'd like to see or hear us talk about, go ahead and write it down in the comments. Feel free to rebut. Spend your mind out there. We got any shout-outs out here?
Yeah, man. I want to shout out, you know what I'm saying, all the people out there in Sacktown holding it down.
Yeah.
I want to shout out Merced, California.
What's up?
You understand me?
Uh-huh.
All my people out there, you
What it
know
do?
what I mean? And I just want to shout out all the real overt, in-your-face, racist wife. Keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what
Oh,
you're
that must
doing.
be most of the.
Keep speaking how you speak.
That must be most of the Trump administration. Then
Yeah,
For real, though.
Steve Bannon, keep it up.
keep it 100.
Well, I guess then we
Keep it
got...
100. Keep it 1000.
Stay lit.
Keep it lit.
I guess, Dane, we got to shout out Oaktown in San Francisco.
Oh yeah,
just to
nah,
keep it balanced. From the
nah,
city
most
boy,
definitely, man. I
country boy
gotta say peace,
standard, you know what I'm saying?
peace to my folks.
Hey, man, hold on, man. Man, don't forget San Jose and Walnut Creek.
Oh yeah,
The V8LLEJO.
shout out to my folks in the East, man.
I got to shout out Vallejo, though. I got too many partners from Vallejo.
What's up? What's going on in Vallejo? What's going on with my folks over there in Magazine? You know what I'm saying? What's going on to my folks out here in the city? Diamond Heights, Sunnydale, Deborah Rock. I was over there in Deborah Rock the other day. What's going on to my peoples out there? What's going on to my peoples up in the Point? I see y'all. I love y'all. Peace.
All right.
And
Peace to
shout
the
out
Bernsky.
shout out to Ceres, California, with the Grand
Ceres.
Wizard.
Good
The
Lord.
KKK has been residing for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ceres, California.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Keys, Turlock, all that. You know what I'm saying?
The middle of nowhere. All right, peace to the Vernsky out there holding it down in the land. Peace to Glenville. Peace to my peoples in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? All my fam in Virginia, and of course my fam in Louisiana. We holding it down.
That's right.
All right. So it's been a pleasure being with y'all. Catch us again next week for another exciting episode of the Black Hand Side Show. I'm Professor T signing off. We got
Your boy Colton Crush.
in the middle.
Black Mean, a.k.a. Booney Farnsworth, a.k.a.
And
the Skinny Champ.
What's
Skinny
up? It's
King.
Dame.
In the hot seat, we got Dame. Thank you for joining us. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Keep your mind free and open. And we love the brothers. Sisters,